The desert breathed, not in wind, not in heat, but in something deeper. Beneath the sands of New Mexico, a tremor pulsed with rhythm like a buried heartbeat. Dr. Elias Thorne stopped walking. His instruments glitched. His compass spun. The drone fell from the sky. Then silence. Not a bird. Not an echo. Only the distant thud of a heavy step miles away, yet close enough to feel. Something massive was moving under the earth. Something ancient. The dust lifted around him. Shapes began to emerge on the horizon. Not machines. Not men. Necks like towers. Shadows of the past alive again. Dr. Elias Thorne specialized in seismic patterns. He was not a paleontologist or explorer. His work focused on deep earth vibrations and unexplained ground pulses. When an unusual signal repeated across the New Mexico desert every 12 hours, he decided to investigate. With him came his assistant Raya and drone engineer Beck. The terrain was dry and ancient. Long stretches of dust broken by red rock. Old fossil beds buried beneath layers of time. Locals spoke of a place called the Hollow Spine, a canyon where compasses failed and echoes never returned. Legend said the earth was not dead there. It remembered. Elias thought it was superstition, until their camp sensors recorded a tremor with a heartbeat pattern. The team deployed drones and mapped the area. The land responded oddly. Footprints appeared where no one walked. Old bones were uncovered by wind alone. Raya found ferns growing in dry soil. Fossils had shifted locations overnight. Elias dismissed it as coincidence. Beck joked about dinosaur ghosts. But something about the land felt aware. At sunset, they heard the first call, low and long like a horn blown through stone. No one slept that night. Before dawn, Elias followed the tremor path eastward alone. The pulse had grown stronger. He crossed the hollow spine and saw what he thought was a hill rise and move. It was not a hill. It was a leg, massive and slow, covered in dust and age. A sauropod, alive. He froze as the creature passed. Its eyes did not meet his. It moved like a mountain walking. Back at camp, Rye was gone. Her gear was still warm. Beck found a trail of deep prints leading toward the canyon. They followed. In the distance, they saw more. For maybe 5 massive creatures. Not dangerous. Not aggressive. Just awake. The Alamosaurus herd had returned. The discovery shook Elias. He documented every sound and vibration. But the world outside did not believe. His transmission was jammed. Signals vanished. Drones dropped. Nature did not want them to leave. They found Raya alive near an oasis deep in the canyon. She spoke of following a light, then a sound, and waking near a stream where the giants drank without fear. She had touched one. Its skin was like bark. Its breath smelled of moss. It had looked at her and seen something. Not threat, not prey, just presence. They followed the herd at a distance. Plants grew in their path. Trees that had no seeds. Water that had no spring. Elias believed the Alamosaurus were more than survivors. They were restorers, ancient caretakers of balance. But others arrived. A private fossil hunter named Cormac and his crew. They wanted footage-proof trophies. Beck warned them off. They laughed. Then one fired a flare. The herd scattered. But one stayed. Older, slower. Cormac approached. The Alamosaurus lifted its tail. Not in anger. In warning. He stepped closer. The tail struck. Dust swallowed him. Cormac's crew fled. Beck was injured in the chaos. Elias carried him to a cave where old paintings lined the walls. Alamosaurus shapes surrounded by stars and waves. He realized this was not migration. It was return. A cycle. Every 1,000 years the herd came back to awaken the land. The desert bloomed where they stepped. Storms parted for them. Life followed. Rai wanted to stay. Elias knew they could not keep this secret. But they also could not expose it. They recorded their last footage. Then buried the equipment beneath a petrified tree. The herd moved west, toward forgotten valleys. The ground trembled softly in their wake. Beck recovered. Raya stayed behind with a research outpost. Elias returned alone. He published nothing. His data was corrupted. No institution believed him. Years passed. Small changes began. Rivers ran clearer. Old seeds sprouted in parks. Strange flowers appeared on city roofs. The world healed without knowing why. Elias walked the edge of the hollow spine once a year. He listened, and some nights he heard again, the deep, slow breath of a giant. Elias grew old, his hair silver, his hands steady. He kept a garden unlike any other, plants with no known species, ferns that glowed slightly at dusk. He never spoke of Alamosaurus again. Children called him the man who could talk to stones. He smiled, said nothing. One morning he walked into the desert and did not return. In the canyon, a single long note echoed, low and steady. A shadow moved beneath the rising sun. Not machine, not myth, just memory made real again. The guardian herd had walked once more.